Thank you, Marty. And I see that Jeff Nichols has joined us, not by video yet, but I hope we'll see him soon. So this year, Spokane Area Jewish Family Services has chosen Jeff Nichols as an honoree for our Outstanding Service Award. This well-deserved award goes to someone who serves our community, often under the radar. Despite Jeff's unassuming, gentle manner, in his presence, his love for Judaism and our community is palatable. I first met Jeff following the creation of Congregation Emmanuel some 12 years ago. At that time, Emmanuel rented from the Unitarian Universalist Church. We did not have a dedicated space and had to set up and break down for all of our events. Recognizing our need for sacred space, Jeff was there to help and eventually assumed responsibility. Once Emmanuel had dedicated space inside of Temple Beth Shalom, Jeff continued in this role. Anyone who has attended Emmanuel's services, B'nai Mitzvahs, weddings, seders, educational classes, Hanukkah or Purim parties, has benefited from Jeff's commitment to creating a sacred space to meet, learn, celebrate, mourn, and pray. Jeff's commitment to our Jewish community is further demonstrated by his service on the Emmanuel Board, Hesed Committee, Religious Practice Committee, and the Mutual Review Committee, which evaluates the sacred relationship between the rabbi and lay leaders. Jeff is also the Emmanuel representative to the Spokane Jewish Community Burial Fund. Jeff's service to the Jewish community extends beyond Emmanuel, where he is a volunteer to the Spokane Area Jewish Family Services and the Mitzvah Corps. In those roles, Jeff has engaged in calls and visits to Spokane seniors and holiday packet deliveries for the last 6 years. Being in Jeff's presence is to understand the true meaning of humility and service. When thanked for his service, Jeff will quietly respond, "It is an honor." It is now an honor to introduce Jeff as a recipient of the Spokane Area Jewish Family Services Outstanding Services Award.
Oh, thank you very much. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Thank you so much, Miriam. It's I don't know what to say. I'm speechless, but I just want to say that I'm the one who's been truly blessed by all of you. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being such a wonderful organization and wonderful people. It's been such a pleasure and a blessing to be around such wonderful people. Yeah. And there's, in the Jewish Family Services is, a wonderful organization with so many people who are shining stars that donate their time, and it's headed by an amazing director, Mr. Neil Schindler, and there's just so many wonderful people, and I don't think I could say anything more. I'm just I'm very honored. So thank you all so very much. And thank you, Miriam, for for everything.
Thank you, Jeff. I hope I get to meet you in person one day. So far, we only have a Zoom relationship. So thanks again for all that you do for us. I failed to mention that Miriam is one of our very valuable board members, and we appreciate her service to the community too. I'd now like to introduce Berdine Bender, who will introduce our next service award.
Thank you, Marty. It is truly my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Mary Noble, who is also an honoree for this year's JFS Outstanding Service Award. Mary's contributions to our Jewish community at Temple Beth Shalom, JFS, and the Spokane area at large are just too extensive to really enumerate. So I thought I'd give you a synopsis of her many efforts toward the betterment of our whole region. Mary, along with her husband, Herschel Zellman, moved from Toronto, Canada to Spokane in 1978. They, and subsequently their 3 sons, have been active with Temple Beth Shalom since that time. Over her professional life, Mary has been a well-respected internal medicine physician in Spokane. She has won many service awards for her contributions to medical education, chairing and contributing to innumerable hospital and organizational committees. Since 2009, she has been a clinical associate professor of medicine for the University of Washington, and most recently served as the director of ambulatory care for the internal medicine residency program at our Spokane Teaching Health Clinic. Upon her retirement in 2018, she has continued as supplemental faculty for this clinic, helping precept residents and medical students as needed. Aside from her impeccable clinical care, Mary has always contributed to the betterment of our Spokane community. To highlight just a few of her past awards, in 1988, she received the YWCA Outstanding Achievement Award for the Professions. In 2006, the Hadassah National Leadership Award, and in 2013, the Spokane County Medical Society Physician Citizen of the Year Award. Her efforts at Tikkun Olam have spread to board membership of Spokane Hadassah, Temple Beth Shalom, Jewish Family Services, Refugee Connections of Spokane, and as advisory board member for Gonzaga Institute of Hate Studies. In 1995, Mary, along with her husband Herschel, was the initial inspiration for our Spokane Community Observance of the Holocaust Planning Committee. As most of you know, this committee has helped to both remember the devastation of the Holocaust, as well as attempt to reduce hate locally and regionally. Since 2019, Mary has co-chaired the Mitzvah Corps. She is the person who knows seemingly everything about everyone. If you or a family member is ill or have experienced a personal loss, you are sure to be called and helped by Mary and or her committee members. Undoubtedly, she will be there with a warm meal, multiple phone calls, personal visits, transportation to doctor's appointments, to JFS or Temple events, or whatever is needed. And I'm paraphrasing you, Mary, sorry. Just want to help a little, do what I can do. Hopefully I've given you a taste of the many accomplishments of this really incredible woman. But what lists and CVs don't tell you is what is most important about this person that we're awarding today. Mary is so much more than all of these accomplishments. She is a creative, warm, caring, and enduring friend to so many. She is a great woman of fortitude, conviction, and optimism, who helps all those she touches to celebrate and better experience our travels through family, love, and life. Our world would not be the same without her ever engaging presence. And with that, and I'm sorry, Mary, I'm going to start crying, I present to you my dear friend, Mary Noble.
And after all that, I don't think I can I can read what I prepared to try and stay. Anyways, I really am so honored, and Berdine, thank you for those incredible words. Honored and humbled to be named for this award. I really feel like I'm in such great company. I'm so glad to share this honor with Jeff Nichols, who's such a kind, thoughtful, and caring man. He's someone I may not have been able to get to know without volunteering with JFS and Mitzvah Corps. So I congratulate you, Jeff, because I think you're a pretty incredible person. I'm inspired by many of those who've received this award in the past. Shirley Grossman, the master of all things mitzvah related, my friends, the Benders, who were honored last year, and of course, my husband, Herschel, who started as an active JFS volunteer the minute he retired from his medical practice. I'm continually awed by the many people in our Jewish community who participate in so many ways to help out as JFS volunteers and as members of Mitzvah Corps, making phone calls, sending cards, preparing meals. Sue, Judy, Karen, Jane, Suzanne, Doris, Lenya, and so many others help make this the supportive community that it is. When you keep company with people like this, it's powerful fuel to continue doing anything you can. Pirkei Avot notes that the world rests upon three pillars: Torah, Avodah, and Gemilut Chasadim, which is acts of loving kindness. From the third pillar, we understand that part of being Jewish is the obligation to care for others. We aren't alone, we're part of community. One of the best parts of being a physician for over 40 years was the privilege of sharing in the lives of people I met and got to know. A similar sense of connection occurs when volunteering with JFS and connecting with people in our Spokane Jewish community. That's been particularly true during the pandemic, when all of us have felt a bit disconnected and isolated. When it was easier to do in-person visits, I found it so meaningful to get to know people who might have been new to our community and to have deeper conversations with some people I'd known for many years. With the COVID lockdown, I took a lot of long walks and discovered that it cheered me up while walking to make calls and reach out. So I don't know who benefited more. I have to admit that for someone who's basically shy, having the responsibility to reach out and help others makes it easier to overcome any hesitation to go outside one's comfort zone. I was on the board of JFS for a decade until 2013, so I had a pretty good idea about the great work that JFS does in our community. When I retired from full-time medical practice, I knew that I wanted to have direct contact with people who use the services of this great organization. I understand to some extent the time and work that goes into planning and coordinating all the services that JFS provides. Great appreciation to Marty Martin and the entire JFS board for everything you do. I have pretty regular contact with Neil Schindler, but I'm certain I could never totally grasp the many, many ways he serves our community. Between the JFS Food Bank, the PJ Library activities for the youngest generation, program planning, the Jewish Film Festival, direct support to those who need practical help, in-person visits, transportation, connection for people who are new to the community, and so much more, Neil is the go-to guy. Thank you, Neil, for everything you do. And thank you for the lovely gift basket that Lenya delivered earlier today. Thank you again for this great honor, and Yasher Koach to JFS. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, and let us strengthen each other.